WM, followed by your message to 81333. The Work and Pensions Secretary, Ian Duncan-Smith, has said a new cap on benefits means people can trust the welfare system again. The cap, which is beginning across Britain today, means most households won't be able to claim more than £500 a week. Single people won't be able to claim more than £350. The limit has been trialled in 4 parts of London since April. Phil Agulnik is director of the online benefits provider Entitled2.com. Phil, good afternoon.
Hello, thanks for having me on.
That's okay. The maximum that anybody will be able to get now is £26,000 a year in benefits, which actually equates to, around £34,000 for normal people on a taxed income, if you like, doesn't it?
That's right, because obviously you're going to pay tax on those gross earnings, so you've got those numbers correct.
Yeah. So a cap at £500 a week still seems a decent amount of money to live on, would you say, or not?
You know, lots of people will be on average earnings and make that money, and the key thing to remember is that the cap is affecting people with lots of children, and people with lots of children have much higher entitlements in the benefit system to take account of the needs of those children. So for people who are affected by this cap, a lot of them will still be getting an awful lot of benefits when they're in work, but what the government is saying is we want you to be in work, so that's why the cap doesn't apply in those cases. So think less about the actual amount of benefits, it's more about the incentive to work. I think that's what this policy is about.
You think the incentive to work now is very much there in light of what the government have done? Because that's what they're saying. Obviously, that's what they want people to do, to actually go out to make it more beneficial to work rather than just collecting the benefits.
Yeah, and that's because if you work more than 16 hours a week and you've got children, you're entitled to working tax credit. And what the government have said is that they will exclude people getting working tax credit from the benefits cap. So it is really worthwhile for people who are affected to go out and get a job.
So for people with lots of children, they're going to be most seriously affected in your view, are they?
That's right, because the benefit cap only affects you if you get more than £500 a week in benefits if you've got children. And you have to have 4 or more children in an area of low rent to get above that amount. The people with smaller number of children are basically in London where they could be paying £200 or £300 a week. Is
this the government then saying don't have as many children? Just think about what you're doing. Manage the money better.
That could be one thing that they're saying about it. I mean, it depends how you look at it. You could look at it as a policy which is about number of children, you could look at it as a policy which is about saving money, or you can look at it as a policy which is about incentives to work.
Phil Agulnik, who's director of the online benefits provider, where presumably you give people lots of information on Entitled2.com, don't you?
That's exactly what we do. If you go to Entitled2.com, you can see what you're entitled to, whether or not you're affected by the benefits cap.
Phil, good to talk to you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
16 minutes past 4.